All right, so all of the Nintendo Switch 2 launch plans, pre-order dates, and even the launch month have seemingly leaked online from a very credible inside report. So we're gonna walk through that because if you are wanting to secure a day one Nintendo Switch 2 console via pre-order, there are some very important steps you need to be aware of, and you're gonna wanna be ready to go with all of this stuff, all of the tips and tricks we're gonna walk through in the second half of this video, which by the way, there will be timestamps down below so you can jump to where you want to go. You're going to want to have all this done ahead of time because we are looking at two potential dates for the pre-orders to go live for this console, and it's either April 2nd or April 9th. But there is reason to believe that it's April 9th at this point, but I still want you to be ready just in case on April 2nd if for some reason this very reliable insider gaming report from Tom Henderson is off for any reason. But we're going to unpack all of this. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And I want to first kick it off with the leak portion of this video, which is the following report that you can see for yourself over on Insider Gaming, where it reads, exclusive US retailer documents shed light on Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order plans. Retailers are expecting that they will run out of pre-order units for the Nintendo Switch 2 on day one, despite Nintendo allegedly accumulating a large quantity for stock. That's according to internal emails and documents provided to Insider Gaming from a large US retailer who are anticipating they will sell out of Nintendo Switch 2 on the same day they open up pre-orders due to limited unit allocation from Nintendo. According to the documents, the Switch 2 is scheduled to release in June, a release month that has already been widely rumored and was highly talked about by developers at GDC this year. However, the documents do add a little confusion as to when the pre-orders will go live, especially following the Best Buy Canada leak earlier this week that revealed they'd go live on April 2nd. According to the documents from the US retailer, pre-orders are set to go live on April 9th, 1 week after the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. The documents include a messaging strategy following the Direct to include pre-order coming soon messaging by a countdown clock that will end on April 9th with an exact time to be confirmed by Nintendo on April 2nd. The documents also include details on an exclusive collectible coin for those who pre-order the console. Whether or not Best Buy Canada's leak was a mistake or not is unclear, but the company did promptly remove the information after it started circulating online. In any case though, pre-orders are almost certainly going to go live within a week of the Direct. So that April 2nd date from Best Buy Canada's blog post, in case you missed it, essentially there was an entire blog post information page on Nintendo Switch 2 that went live on the official Best Buy Canada website, and it looked like April 2nd was the date they were anticipating Switch 2 going live for pre-order. Now that post was then pulled down shortly after it went live, but because it was such an official thing put together on a major retailer's website, it seemed like they had the date figured out. But was it pulled down because it was inaccurate info and they needed to adjust that? Or is Nintendo just asking them to pull that down because they weren't ready to communicate the pre-order live date? That's up for you to decide. But now transitioning to if you are somebody who wants to try to secure this console day one via pre-order. Now, I'm going to say one of the best ways to do it, in case if you can do it, is in person. And while we don't have confirmation of what this will look like from all of the major retailers, GameStop is rumored to have in-store pre-order stock for the console. They've done it with prior consoles before. In fact, when the OLED model came out, I actually ran up to my local GameStop and reserved one of that store location's new OLED consoles and paid for it in full and got my receipt and had the pre-order set, and I was able to go there and pick it up on launch day. They are probably doing the same thing for Nintendo Switch 2. So when it comes to your highest chances of securing this thing, if we find out it's April 9th and you're near a local GameStop, you might just want to run up there or call them first and ask if they are going to be doing in-store stock reservations, meaning can you come in person and reserve one right now and you're going to have it sent to that store on the launch day. If that is an option for you, that's probably going to be the easiest, because when you're competing in the online environment, you are going up against bots in the masses. And even though Nintendo is going to try to flood the market with stock levels, according to their own words, it's likely that they're still not going to be able to meet the demand for essentially the upgrade to an 8.5-year-old console by time this thing comes out. Nearly 8.5 years the Switch will have been out as of June. And then you're going to have to deal with 150 plus million install base Switch users who are potentially ready to upgrade to the next thing. So there's a lot of demand for this console. It's probably only going to get harder during the holiday season. And if you can't do in-store pre-orders, when it comes to securing one online, your best bet is to first set up an account over on X. That's the platform that I would recommend for this because news just gets sent out really quickly and you can turn on notifications. Whether you want to use it for other social media reasons or not, that's up to you. But create one of those accounts, follow a couple of the accounts that I will have linked in my description down below, one of which is called Nintendo Switch 2 Stock Tracker, which is a new account that will be following this and tweeting out live links as they go live from these retailers with pre-order links directly to the pages according to them. And Jake Randall, shout out to him, does a fantastic job. You're going to want to watch his videos as he updates them, and I believe he already has a couple tips and tricks videos just like this to make sure you're ready to go for a day one pre-order. He also does live streams oftentimes, and follow him over on X as well because he also tends to tweet out live links when they happen from all of these different retail stock accounts, and he's well connected within the retail chain industry at this point because he's been doing this for a long time. So sometimes he has a heads up on when restocks will happen from different retailers, not to mention a more in-depth understanding of all of the different queues and how they work with each individual retailer. So very good resources, and there's a number of other ones you could go scour and just turn on notifications from just to be safe. But if you create an X account and you have notifications on and you have it on your phone, even if you are at work or busy or something's going on, you're going to be able to see that pop up right on your home screen. You can hopefully click the link and get into a queue or get into a checkout situation very quickly. Now from there, the next tip that you really have to do, no questions asked, and you'll want to do this before April 2nd, just to be clear, just in case if that April 9th date is not accurate and these do go live on April 2nd, do all of this stuff beforehand. But you also want to have every major retailer. For me here in the US, I'm thinking Walmart, Target, Best Buy, GameStop, and Amazon are the big ones that come to mind. I'm going to have not only my accounts signed in on my web browser of choice, whether that be on my mobile device or my desktop. I'm going to have my account signed in on everything, or the apps on your phones. Make sure you are logged in or it's set up through Face ID or thumbprint, whatever you need to do to quickly get signed into the app and stay signed in if you can. You need to also have your payment information that you want to pay with for this console to secure the pre-order on file ahead of time. If you're sitting there typing in card numbers when there is a live stock drop, you are just simply going to get kicked to the back of the line. Bots will buy it up first, and you're not going to have a fighting chance to check out. So use the card that you want to have for the payment method of this console. Save it ahead of time. Make sure everything looks accurate. Register your phone number so they can send you a text verification link, all of that stuff. Make sure you're good on your email addresses that they're going to send potential verification codes to, because a lot of retailers for bigger purchases, they want to verify it's you and send you a one-time code. Get signed into all of that stuff and make sure it's all accurate info ahead of time. The worst thing that can happen is that you don't have that done. You have a Switch 2 in your cart and then it gets pulled out from under you because one or two steps took just a little bit too long. So the replay of the big steps there is follow the stock tracker accounts, turn on notifications so you get notified via your phone or desktop, and then once you get to click those links, whatever browser you're going to use, already be signed in to all of your major retailers and already have your payment information on file, as well as your shipping address. Obviously, anything you can fill out in terms of account information that needs to be put in to secure an order is what you're going to want to do here ahead of the Switch 2 stock launch. So hopefully all the gamers that are excited for this thing have a fighting chance at securing one day one. We will obviously find out a lot more official information, including price point from Nintendo, although I should really briefly touch on that as well. There's been some more recent retailer insider leaks that are suggesting that they're also hearing a $399 price point for this console. I'm hoping it's that. If $449 could be a reality, or $499 is the top end of what some analysts are saying it may cost. But if we get this console for $399, just $50 more than the OLED model that's available now, with all the additional power and hopefully a banger games lineup that we find out about at April 2nd, I think it's going to be a steal of a purchase for a lot of people. Hence, a lot of people are going to want it, and it's probably going to go down as the most successful and largest console launch in a gaming console period in history. So you're going to want to be prepared for this one. If you're trying to secure one day one, let me know in the comments down below if you are somebody who's going to try to hop in online and battle the bots and just be quicker to the punch to check out and get it in your cart and go? Or are you going to try to do the in-store option with a retailer like GameStop, or maybe call around all your other local retailers and see if anybody's reserving in-store inventory as opposed to relying on the online portion? And definitely try to do a pre-order if you want a day one console. If you try to wait just until day one stock shows up at these stores, it's truly a coin flip on if you'll walk out with one or not. If you can secure a pre-order, that's definitely what you want to do if at all possible. But make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell. And with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.